واستعملنا بسنته.
Ağlayan zuhacı tahirat evladı Resulü ashabı güzel efendilerimizin sahih enbiya azam ve Resulü fehane hazıratı ervah şeriflerine ilimiz Bilal-i Habeşi radiyallahu anh efendimizin Şeyhimiz sahibi Seyf Şeyh Abdülhamid Kıbrıs Rabbani Hazretleri için daha husus bu caminin bayini sebebine kadar içerisine gelmiş geçmiş İmam Muazzin kaimlerinin ve gâfe ehli iman ervahı için Allah rızası için El Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Elhamdülillah, elhamdülillah, elhamdülillahi rabbil alemin, ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Nahmadullah Teala ve nastağfir ve eşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike leh. Eşhedü enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu ve habibuhu ve resuluh. Sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve zvacihi ve sahabi tabi khulafir raşidin mahadin min ba'di. Zemmeti ala tahkik, hususun alameti khulafir Resulü ala tahkik. Umar el-Mu'minin, Hazreti Ebu Bakr, Umar, Osman ve Ali, ve ala bakı sahabi tabi'in, ridvanullah ta'ala aleyhim ecmain. Ya eyyuhal mu'minul hazirun, yetakullah ta'ala, ve te'innallaha mellezine tevellezine hum muhsinun. Elhamdülillahi rabbil alemin, ve salatu ve selamu ala eşrafil enbiya ve mursalin, seyyidina Mevlana Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, the most merciful one, who is firmly established on the throne. To him belongs what is in the heavens and the earth, and all that is between them, and whatever is beneath the soil. And if you speak out loud, then indeed he knows the secret, and what is even more hidden. Allah, there is no Allah besides him. His are the most beautiful names. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Ya Allah, bless and grant peace and blessings on our Master Muhammad alayhi wasalam, the Prophet of judgment and wisdom, the shining lamp with the best character, the seal of the messengers, the master of the Mi'raj, and bless his family and companions and followers, the travelers on his straight path. May peace and blessings be upon his noble family and blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazreti Umar Farooq, Hazreti Osman al-Ghani, and Hazreti Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, Alhamdulillah that we have reached the holy day of Jummah in the month of Shawwal. We passed through the holy day of Eid al-Fitr. We should not forget the holiness of Yawmul Jummah. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, the leader of the days is the day of Jummah, and it is the most honored in Allah's sight, and it is more honored than Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha. It has 5 special qualities. Allah created Adam alayhi salam on this day, and on this day Adam alayhi salam was sent to the earth, and on this day Adam alayhi salam passed away, And on this day there is a time where if anyone asks Allah something, it will be granted, unless that thing is forbidden. And on this day, the hour will be established. There are no angels close to Allah or the sky or the earth or the wind or the mountain or the sea who are not worried about the day of Jummah. Ya Alhamdulillah, that we have reached to this holy day. Inshallah, we will treat it with respect. Jummah is holy because it is a time for the believers to gather together, to leave their jobs, to leave their families, to leave their dunya, and to reconnect themselves to Allah and His Prophet. Sahib al-Saif, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Kibrisi Rabbani, Qaddasallahu Sir, is talking about the importance of Jummah and then connecting it to the state of the Muslims of today, saying, Jummah khutbah is for Muslims, for mu'mins, is not for unbelievers. Different sohbat to those. Jummah khutbah is given according to the place and how the people are behaving. That must be showing them the way. Later you cannot say, I didn't know. You are hearing, you must be obeying. If you say, I'm obedient servant to Allah, then you must be obedient to those words. Don't look at the man who's saying the words. Look at the words. The words are coming to you from Allah and His Holy Prophet ﷺ. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, in Akhir Zaman, my nation is going to be so many, but they are not going to be good for anything. And their enemy is going to eat them, is going to take everything away from them. The Sahabi said, Ya Rasulullah, is it because they are going to be only a handful? He says, so many they are going to be. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to lift the haybat of Islam away from them. So when their enemies look at them, they are not going to have any feeling, any fear from them. And they are going to attack them and they're going to finish them. That's what happened today. It's because they are going to fall in love with this dunya. They are going to love dunya and they're going to hate to hear about death. This is what happened to the nation today. And the friends of Allah speak the truth. If any honest, sincere person looks at the ummah today, he must come to the conclusion that these words, they are true. Islam is a ni'mat, a divine favor to us. Is iman, is a sharaf. It is an honor to us. When we look at the ummah today, we know that we are without that divine favor. And we are without that honor. The first thing that Muslims must know and must remember is that for over 1,000 years, just until yesterday, we did have honor. We had the highest honor of any ummah that came to this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is even praising us, saying in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you are the best ummah that has ever been raised up for mankind. You do amri bil ma'ruf wa nahi anil munkar. You encourage what is right and you forbid what is evil, and you believe in Allah. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. This we had from the time that the Holy Prophet ﷺ came, just up till yesterday. Don't think that our condition now has always been. It has never been. And until the last century, this ummah was living to that title given in the Holy Quran. From the Sahabas, to the Tabi'in, to the Tabi'in, to the Salihin, all the way to our righteous Osmanli grandfathers, the Muslims were believing in Allah. And the Muslims, they were forbidding evil and they were enjoining and encouraging good. The Muslims were able to do that because they had a sultan, because the Muslims had a Khalifa, because the Muslims had the shadow of Allah on earth. But when the Khilafat was veiled from this earth, then we see that we lost everything. One of the biggest things that left the ummah and that has left this world It is enjoining good and forbidding evil. Don't look at individuals who are enjoining good and forbidding evil. Don't look at some communities or some jamaats or some masjids or some institutions. Islam is ruling from the top to the bottom. Look at the countries, look at the regimes, look at the governments, look at the economic system, look at the military system, look at the system of education, look at every system that we call the system of modern life. Then ask, are they encouraging good and forbidding evil or not? Because any good that does not have power is useless. Islam was good and it came with power just until yesterday. Islam still is good, but the Muslims have no power to enjoin what is good and to forbid what is evil. And now, from the poison of Wahhabism, from the poison that says there is no mazhab, from the poison that says now we have to open the doors of ijtihad and everyone can practice Islam as they want, reading the book by themselves, coming to their own laws and conclusions by themselves. Now, what is evil and good, it is all mixed up. Now, what they wanted to do since the fall of the Khilafat, to weaken the Ummah and to rip open the doors of ijtihad, it has happened. And now everyone is doing what they want, and they're getting the reasons from the Quran and they're getting reasons from the Sunnah. And now even the so-called imams and sheikhs and mullahs are giving everyone permission to do whatever they want. Our Sheikh Sahib al-Saib is telling us about this fitna, this confusion, saying, Amril bil ma'ruf wa nahya min munkar. That's finished too, completely. That the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, when that finishes, everything is finished. In the nations, Amr bil Ma'ruf must come first from the top leaders. The leaders must give orders to the people to direct them to the right roads and to stop them from the wrongdoings. But it became otherwise. Imam, sheikhs, priests, rabbis, everyone is falling into the same category now. They are afraid to speak the truth because some authorities may call them and question them. That's what happened. But you must not be afraid to speak the truth, at least to your own selves. At least say to your own selves, this is what's happening. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying the shahadat, but I'm living otherwise. I'm saying the shahadat, but I'm breaking every law. Everything that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, I'm living something else. I'm a different creature. The Prophet ﷺ says, if there is no Khalifa for 3 days, 3 days if there is no Khalifa, there is no Islam. The Khalifa is necessary to have Amr bil Ma'ruf. Without it, even if we are 2 billion people, even if we have more billionaires amongst the Muslims than amongst the non-Muslims, even when we have the technology and the education and everything that the dunya has to offer, we have become the weakest ones. The strength comes when you're able to stand up to truth. The strength comes when you're able to protect the orphans, the poor ones, those who are Muslims. The power doesn't come when you are allying yourself with the powerful. The power comes when you bring down tyranny. This is what the Holy Prophet ﷺ came 1400 years ago. So the Khilafat was removed. We have 2 billion Muslims, but we have become weak. We cannot do anything. And the Muslims have tried for 100 years. For 100 years. To make organizations and institutions and think tanks to replace the Khilafat. But the Khilafat is from Allah, and nothing can replace what Allah has put there. Anytime Muslims have tried to make their own system or their own law or their own organization, it fails because it is not from divine sources. It is not from prophetic tradition. It is coming from tradition of unbelievers. Whatever comes from Allah is perfect and it will remain clean. Whatever comes from dunya ideas, whatever comes from unbelief is imperfect and will in the end become dirty and it will corrupt. Sultan al-Awliya Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim al-Haqqani Qadasasir is saying, today's people, today's religious people, mostly are official ones. Rasmiyat, officiality, is taking away familiarity from people. Officials are not opening to each other in their hearts, but they are using their official identities and leaving their real beings as Muslims and taking an imitated personality that has no value. Do you think a fake diamond is the same as a real diamond? But from far away you must say both of them are diamonds, but no, never. So that officiality is making people leave their real beings and dress in imitated identities, and that is a shaitanic order. Therefore, one of the biggest awliya in the Islamic world, Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi Qadasasir, was saying, O people, be as you are, showing yourself to people. Don't cheat them. Don't use two personalities. Use one personality and your real person is going to be in your spirituality. But you are not using. You are hiding your real being and showing yourself opposite to that. That is haram. Be as you are. Don't use two personalities. You may cheat people, but you cannot cheat the Lord of heavens. You can't cheat heavenly beings. No. About those who cheat people, the seal of the Prophet ﷺ is saying, that one is not from my nation. That is a very heavy warning from the Prophet ﷺ. The way of the Holy Prophet ﷺ is to sit with people. His way is to listen to the people. His way is to understand and to help the people. The Holy Prophet ﷺ came to bring down the hypocrisy of officiality and to make people to be in sohbat, in association. Sohbat brings people's hearts together and it brings sincerity. That is why our way is founded on association, on sohbat. Sultan al-Awliya is saying, we are trying to be simple and not official. I want to be able to speak freely and not for it to be like a court speech. It should be free and simple so that sincerity can go through our hearts. When something is official, it loses sincerity. So forgive me for my simplicity. It is better to be simple and easy. Officiality makes our life less valuable. Official people live shorter than unofficial people. That is why I do not like to be an official person, and I've never been one. When we leave the real teachings of Islam and when we follow a made-up official version of Islam, then we lose the spirit of Islam. Yes, we will have the form of Islam. We will have masjids and jamis. We will even have investments and buildings and money. You can produce hundreds of imams every year. You can have mimbars and minarets and mihrabs and businesses, but those masjids will be empty from the spirit of Islam. They'll be empty from believers. That emptiness of spirit is what is making this nation to be weak. 1400 years, maybe we didn't have this much wealth or this many jamis or business or investment, but the spirit of Islam was strong and it sustained us for over 1,000 years. A fake Islam cannot solve the problems of Muslims. A hypocritical official Islam that is not connected to Khilafat or 1400 years of tradition, it is only going to make the ummah to become more sick. It is like giving a drugs to a sick, dying person instead of curing it. And this is what we see. The ummah is infected with the worst confusion and the worst fitness. Is it an honor to Muslims when we see women using the form of Islam to dishonor Islam? They're using and they're attacking, especially first our women. And that is a sign of the last days. They're using the form of Islam, but it's using it to dishonor Islam. Is it an honor to Islam when women are wearing hijab, but also putting on swimsuits and appearing on the cover of swimsuit magazines so the whole world can look at their bodies? Is it an honor to Islam when a woman wearing burqa stands on the stage of a rock concert screaming and dancing like an unbeliever? Is it an honor? Is it an honor to Islam when Muslim girls wear hijab and they walk in gay pride parades? Is that an honor to Islam? It's not only to the women, it's to everyone. And what about our youth? What about our young people who are our future? Is it an honor to Islam when the Muslim youth are saying that the Muslim youth are thinking bad thoughts about the Holy Prophet and his companions? Is it an honor when they are taught it's okay to criticize prophets? It is okay to criticize the Sahabis. It is okay to criticize the alims and the ulamas and the saints. Is it an honor to Islam when the youth of the ummah have become so hopeless that they find pleasure from sitting in their rooms, staring at that shaitan box, the internet, and then finding no pleasure in anything unless they cut themselves and watching the blood come out from their bodies? Is it an honor to Islam when young Muslims are killing themselves? When divorce is on the rise? What happens when the official Islam tells us that we are all okay, that we don't need to change? What happens when we stop struggling for the sake of Allah against our nafs, against this dunya and against all this fitna? When the imams and the hojas and the sheikhs stop telling us that our desires are evil, that dunya is a trap, that our ego is our enemy, then our spirit is going to die. And the spirit of Islam will die. Then our desires are not seen as something evil. We start to think our desires, it is our right. Our desires is haqq. Our right to run after our desires and to chase after our desires. We start to think that our ego is our friend instead of thinking that our ego is our enemy. We start thinking that good is bad and bad is good. This is the age of Dajjal. What is the biggest trap of Dajjal? He shows paradise as hell, and he shows hell as paradise. We are in it. Even the angel Jibreel alayhi salam feared for us. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, when Allah created paradise, he said to Jibreel, go and look at it. Jibreel ﷺ went and looked at it, then came and said, oh my Lord, by your might, no one who hears of it will fail to enter it. Meaning Jibreel ﷺ looked at paradise and says, anyone who has heard of paradise, they all want to go to paradise. Allah then surrounded it with things that the ego dislikes, things that shaitan dislikes, things that Allah likes. And Allah then said to Jibreel alayhi salam and said, go and look at it again, Jibreel. He went and looked at it. Then he came and said, oh my Lord, I swear by your power, I am afraid that no one will be able to enter it. Then Allah created Jahannam. He said, go and look at it, Jibreel. Jibreel went and looked at it and then said, oh my Lord, I swear by your power, no one who hears of Jahannam wants to enter into it. Allah then surrounded it with desirable things and said, go and look at it, Jibreel. Jibreel went, looked at it, then came and said, oh my Lord, I swear by your power, I am afraid that no one will remain who does not enter it. The Akhir Zaman that we're living in, you should have no doubt that we're living in it. The Akhir Zaman is given to the tyrants and to those who are opposed to the teachings of Allah and His Prophet. The Akhir Zaman is headed by the teachings of Dajjal, who has prepared the way before he enters. And Dajjal comes to tell the people paradise is hell, and hell is paradise. Dajjal comes to tell people to follow the road to hell because it is full of pleasure, and to leave the road to paradise because it looks like it is full of difficulties. Is this open today? People think that obedience to Allah and His Prophet is a hell. They're teaching the young that. They say, don't obey, you have your own mind. Obey yourself. They think that submitting their egos to the divine will is a hell. And to tell them, first you have to submit your ego to the one that Allah has sent, they say now, that is shirk. And they think that being rebellious, that doing whatever they want, that pleasing their egos because they have a right, they have an entitled right, they think that this is paradise. This is the new style. To run after batil makes you intelligent, and it makes you good and smart. And to run after haq makes you stupid and makes you evil. This is exactly the plan of Dajjal. And now it is even worse because from top to bottom, from individuals with a Facebook account to the regimes and governments, we see that the new style has become to command people to evil and to forbid the good. We see this all the time, especially when it comes to Muslims. Muslims who are disobedient to the teachings of Allah, from women taking off the hijabs publicly, to other ones doing forbidden things, to men doing forbidden things. You will see so many, majority are going to stand up to support them. And the few who says this is forbidden, everyone will start to attack that one and to say, how can you say that? How can you judge? Allah is merciful, Prophet is merciful. How dare you judge? The new style has become to command people to evil and to forbid the good. People encourage evil and tell people to stay away from the good. This is the condition that is surrounding us. And this condition, this confusion is so widespread that even a man with faith, even a man with intelligence, even a man with experience, he will become confused. And this confusion happens when there is no guide to show the way. Holy Prophet, listen to this, what he said 1400 years ago. He says, how will you be when your women pass the limits, when your youth are corrupt, and when you have left the struggle for the sake of Allah? He says, meaning in simple language, what do you think is going to happen? The Sahabis, they were shocked, and they said, will that be? Will that ever be, Ya Rasulullah? That the women, they're going to pass the limits, that the youth, they're going to be corrupt, that people are going to stop struggling for the sake of haqq. The Prophet says, yes, I swear by the one in whose hand is my soul. Worse is going to happen. What is worse than that, Ya Rasulullah? How will you be when you no longer command the good and you forbid the evil? Will that be, Ya Rasulullah? Yes, I swear by the one in whose hand is my soul. Worse will happen. What is worse than that, Ya Rasulullah? How will you be when you see the good as bad and the bad as good? Will that be, Ya Rasulullah? Yes, I swear by the one in whose hand is my soul. Worse will occur. What is worse than that, Ya Rasulullah? How will you be when you command the evil and you forbid the good? Will that be, Ya Rasulullah? I swear by the one in whose hand is my soul. Yes, it will be. And worse will happen. Worse. Allah says, I swear a promise upon myself. I will send them a trial, a test that will make the learned man to become confused. That is a description of the darkness of the age of Dajjal. Stop being selfish to look at your own lives and say, I'm okay. I have a nice job. I have a nice family. I have a nice car. I have a nice future in front of me. Since when do believers think that way? So we have lost belief. Because Islam has become a private religion only for our own comfort of families, of community, or even of nations. You don't care for other nations anymore because your nation is doing well. So you can see other nations, other Muslim nations, millions of them suffering under tyranny and dying every day. And the powerful ones who can change that turn their face and say, so what? I'm having a nice life. And this culture of not caring, deadening, killing our hearts, this culture, it is taught to every generation. And it has taken over our hearts. This is the description of the days that we're living in. If this doesn't make your hairs to stand up, I don't know what will. Our hearts should feel the same shock that the Sahabis had when they were listening to the description of this evil time. And we must run. We must run to reject the evil of this time. Yes, we are few. We cannot fight. We cannot do anything, but we cannot accept it in our hearts. In these dark days of Akhir Zaman, we should run to stay in the real associations of the friends of Allah, who makes us to wake up that this religion is not just about pulling tasbih or going up and down. That the Prophet ﷺ came to bring down tyranny and darkness. The Holy Prophet ﷺ gave good news to those who are trying to live a clean, simple lifestyle in Akhir Zaman. Our Shaykh is conveying that good news to us, saying, now Islam is not ruling. Islam is not ruling. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying to us, after me, the Khalifas will come. After the Khalifas, kings will come. After the kings, sultans will come. After the sultans, the time of Jababira, the tyranny time will come. Everywhere in the east, west, north and south, and in every country, the tyrants are going to rule. If you live at that time, try to run away from government works. This is what Holy Prophet is ordering. If you're living during that time, I only give you two advice. Speak the truth and be patient. You are not going to be able to change anything. He said this to the Sahabis. A time will come to my nation that they are not going to be able to speak the truth, and they are not going to be able to stop people from munkar, from wrongdoings. So the Sahabis said, Ya Rasulullah, what kind of believers are those people going to be? He said, worse is going to come to them. They are not going to be able to do that outside, leave outside. They're not going to be able to do that inside. To their family members, they are not going to be able to say what is right and what is wrong. Nobody is going to listen. Everybody is going to rule as they like. Our Shaykh is opening up that hadith. The Sahabis were even more shocked and surprised. Then the Prophet closed the gap a little bit more. He said, worse is going to come to them. What is it, Ya Rasulullah? The Sahabis asked. He said, they are not going to be able to speak to their own children. They are not going to be able to change their wrongdoings and wrong things. Their hands are going to be tied by the powers, by the governments. They are not going to be able to change and raise their children in the way of Islam. They are not going to be able to speak to their wives. Their wives are not going to listen to them. They are going to say democracy. They are going to say feminist rights, women's rights. All these the Holy Prophet is saying. And the Sahabi said, Ya Rasulullah, what kind of believers are they going to be? You know, I'll show you saying, you know, vinegar is very strong. If you put any kind of worms in the vinegar, it will die. It will not live in it. But vinegar has its own kinds of worms that will stay in that vinegar. It will live in that vinegar. He ﷺ said, those of my nation in that time who are going to try to live a correct lifestyle are going to be like those worms inside the vinegar, and they're going to live. And my salams to them. He's saying from that time, my salams and my blessings to those ones. Our intention in these worst times, end of times, is to live a lifestyle that is going to bring the salams and the blessings of the Holy Prophet. We have no need of anything else when we get the salams of our Prophet. That is worth living for. That is worth dying for. May Allah bless our Shaykh who has guided us to such a lifestyle. May Allah forgive us for our shortcomings and our weakness. May Allah keep us strong and to be able to live in this way and to pass from this way clean. Inshallah. Ameen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. La ilaha illa huwa. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والحمد لله قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك سبحان قدوس وبدر إن الله الإسلام قام الصلاة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. الإسلام والشرف الإيمان دائما الحمد لله. ولا شأنه ولا إله غيره والله أكبر. الله أكبر كبيرا والحمد لله كثيرا وسبحان الله بكرة وأصيلا. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد يميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. سبحان ربي الأعلى الوهاب.
آمين. بسم الله. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وحده. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمنون كل آمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله وقالوا سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به. واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. آمنا بالله صدق الله العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس مالك الناس إله الناس من شر وسواس العناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله. سيدنا مولانا محمد رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. يا أشرف العالمين يا سيدنا محمد صلوات. يا رب العالمين يا سيدنا محمد صلوات. يا أكبر العالمين يا سيدنا محمد صلوات. صلوات الله تعالى وملائكته وأنبيائه ورسله وأجمع خلقنا محمد وعلى آل محمد عليه السلام. ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته وجه الله تبارك وتعالى وسلامة أصحاب رسول الله أجمعين والتابعين بهم بإحسان والمشاهدين المعادين وعلماء المتقين وأولياء الصالحين ومشايخنا في الطريق الأشمل الجعلية قدس الله تعالى وحفظ الزكية ونور تعالى ونحن مبارك وعلى الله تعالى الملائكات ومفيداتهن والحمد لله رب العالمين.
الفاتحة. فاتحة.
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر. الله أكبر ولله الحمد.
إلى أشرف المصطفى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. حافظ الله صحيح شيخ سلطان صحيح. الفاتحة.
Biz Osmanlıyız.
Biz Osmanlıyız.
Actionlıyız.
Actionlıyız.
Tekbir.
Allahu Ekber.
Tekbir.
Allahu Ekber.
Tekbir.
Allahu Ekber.
ولله الحمد. السلام عليكم. Juma Mubarak. Yeah. Today is our holiday. Holy day and holiday. It used to be holiday means holy day. Now holiday means not holy day. You do anything you want, not holy. But today is Juma. We should be happy. Whatever that is happening in this world, Allah is greater than that. And the believers, be patient. Allah is with the patient. This world like this or like that, how long is it going to last? We were once in our mother's stomach, time inside of time and space inside of space. We are going to pass from this world to the grave. There's a different time, different space there too. To the outside world, time finish, person is dead. Space is just that small space. To the believer, the space is endless. You become like waiting room to enter into a paradise. To those who are in trouble that they didn't fix themselves, the space is so tight it will crush you. It'll become waiting room to go into a, like Rikers Island. Rikers Island is waiting room to go into real prison. May Allah not make us to be from that category, inshallah. Be patient, be happy with your Lord. Don't be happy with wrong things. Say, Ya Rabbi, what can I do? I don't like this because you don't like this. Maybe my ego is pulling me to that way a little bit, but I'm saying it is not right, Ya Rabbi, I'm weak. I don't like this. Say to your heart, we are going to be judged according to our intention. We cannot change, but we can have our faith to be strong, inshallah. That way, we will be in safety. We're not going to lose. If you have any weakness in your heart to the wrong things, you're going to be in trouble because it may infect everything. Don't have any weakness, inshallah. How are you not going to have any weakness? Be with the strong ones, that's all. Be with the strong ones. The strongest one by himself, he will become weak. The weakest one with the strong, he'll become strong. That is how it was, how it is, how it always will be. So we want to be part of the Jamaat, inshallah, to be in the Jamaat that Allah loves. That's our intention. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Feel free, sit, be comfortable. Ya Allah. Can you take my miswak from my room? Sit comfortably. It's tradition just to have short sohbat after this. Those who are wanting to listen to the sohbat. Sit comfortable. Inshallah. Okay, because I touched this, we give so much spicy in the sohbat, we must give some